I think I'm at that point where if somebody tells me I'm masculine, I'm like, why not? Maybe I am. Maybe all our girls should be told that it is important to have a masculine trait, because a lot of times this femininity has been used to exploit us. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you're being told, be soft, be nice. For what? So that you can be silenced and exploited.
Stepped on.
Yeah, and stepped on. Because when you speak up, you're masculine. I want a man who understands that Zippy is different. Zippy is strong. And Zippy is opinionated. Not a man who wants to change me, no.
What do you think about Jacob's, thought pattern?
I think Jacob is trying to sell a book. He's using the narrative of trashing women. You get it? Because he can still teach men without trashing women.
A very good morning to you and a warm welcome to LNS Rebuilding Series. My name is Lynn Ngugi. She's such a joyful person. I mean, there's no day I've ever seen Zippy and she's not smiling, she's not laughing. And I've always wondered, hey, by the way, Zippy, have you actually ever had low moments? And I bumped into her post, the one she had done, I think 2023 or 2024, 2023 thereabout. And she was talking about her months, the way her months have been. And she was saying sometimes when you see people smile, don't think that they have it all figured out. And that's why we need to actually be kind to people, because you have no idea what someone is going through. But rather than that, she's so unapologetic. She says two things: live your life unapologetically, and also understand divorce is not a death sentence, and just be a happy person. Today on Rebuilding Series, she gets to walk us through just navigating life. And also, when you go through some stages of life, the end goal is sometimes amazing. And for her, I'm happy for her wins. I'm happy even for the work that she's doing in the film industry. And I can't wait to hear her thoughts on a couple of questions I have, including my conversation with Jacob Aliet the other day. I really want to see how she reacts to some few things. But before I let her introduce herself, of course, I have to say thank you to our incredible partners of today's conversation, Optiven. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm pretty sure now you've seen billboards around of Ocean View in Vipingo, Ocean View Ridge in Vipingo. It's a very beautiful place, 4 kilometers away from an Indian Ocean, ideal for a retirement home. So go check it out. And always remember, they have very flexible payment plans, and tell them Lynn has sent me. So Optiven, show me what you guys have going on. And congratulations on your 24 years of positive transformation. It gives me great joy to get to work with partners like you, and not forgetting the incredible team that gets to compile this work. Shukran sana. And to you guys, we are 850k plus subscribers. I appreciate you. Tunafunga mwaka na 1 million. And not forgetting my people in Australia, I'm about to see you very soon. So start submitting your stories info@lnn.digital, and I can't wait to showcase your stories to the rest of the world. And now, without further ado, please allow me to let my beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful hair, I'm tempted to do my hair the way she does hers, introduce herself. Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
The day is here.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I'm excited,
Yay.
to be honest. Lynn Ngugi's show.
It is what it is.
Yes.
It is what it is. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you for making time and also accepting our invitation to the show. We are about to get into a very beautiful conversation.
Yes.
But maybe for the people who are catching you for the very first time, could you introduce yourself?
I am Dr.Zippy Okoth. I am a filmmaker, a storyteller, a performing artist, and I'm a lecturer of film and theatre arts at KC University. I am a mother of 2 beautiful children. I am called French African Young Leaders Fellow. I am many things.
Yes. Go on, God, we got time.
Niringe sasa.
Ringa. We are not 2024. We are not shrinking.
We are not shrinking.
Ringa kido. By the way, si kuringa.
Yes.
It's just you only.
We are embodying what we
add.
To
ongeze hizo
to
zingine.
ongeze hizo
Yes.
zingine. I am the first PhD in theaters from a Kenyan university. And this year it's 10 years since I got my PhD. So, you know. I am an award-winning filmmaker, an award-winning performing artist, and I also have a book called Oops Zippy from the Diary of a Divorced Woman. And yes.
And you have a new thing coming out. That's the
Guys, I am an award-winning filmmaker with a new film called Otis Janam, which is going to be everywhere.
Yes.
It's going to be on Anga Diamond Cinemas. It's going to be on My Movies Africa. And it's going to be on many, many other VOD platforms because this is the best Kenyan film you've watched.
Yes. I don't know what to feel.
Yes.
Coming for the premiere or being scared of what I'm gonna put on during the premiere.
You should not be scared of any.
Nana, you scaring us too much with the outfits.
We just say Luo Glam.
Yes.
And Luo Glam just come with your confidence. We say Nyade. When you walk, people feel your head is up there. You know, Riero Gomanduli kind of walking style.
Yes.
Yes, it does not matter what you're wearing. The way you walk, we know that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a bit there, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Honestly, congratulations. You said it's going to be the best movie in Kenya.
The best movie. We are saying we have created a movie for the world done in Kenya. Yeah, it's not a Kenyan movie. It's a movie for the world just done in Kenya.
It's international
It's international. It's shot in Rusinga Island with all its beauty. The film itself is set in the 1990s and it's about boat racing. How many films about boat racing and intertwining love and women and all that have you seen being done by a woman director and writer, you know?
Period.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And I love that you gave us the English subtitles.
Very well done English subtitles.
Very well done. But for me, I think the best part was having it in the Luo.
Yes.
Embracing our culture and just letting people know that, you know what, we can make things with zile vitu Mungu ametupatia naturally. So
because you know, a lot of people are scared, like if you do it in Luo with the other people buy it. Let me tell you, the people who are buying my tickets, half of them are like not Luos.
Yes.
And I'm like, for me, it's a testament that people believe in my work. And language is not the problem because we've watched a lot of Nigerian films which are done in Yoruba and it has got subtitles, but we feel it. So we are bringing for you Otis Janam. We've taken the risk because we feel there is something about speaking in mother tongue that no matter how deeply you say your English, you can never get that emotion right.
No.
But when you say it in mother tongue, Lynn, it
comes out.
Yeah.
When did you realize that? When did you realize that what we have is so rich? Because I remember growing up, the competition was who would speak English also. Not even much so Swahili.
Yes.
But if you are good in English, you are like a champ, you know.
Exactly.
And then you grow and you are like, oh yeah, I know we are doing this show in English because a lot of people need to listen to either ways. But the thing is, had we known how beautiful our language is, we would have embraced that from the word go, you know. I asked my partner the other day, kwani tuongeangi Kikuyu, by the way?
Yes.
Like, niki tutaragia Kikuyu. Like, why don't we speak in Kikuyu? Like, we are together. We have a common language. Why do we find it so hard to converse in that language?
And mother tongue is so sweet. It's so sweet and so deep. And there are words that you cannot translate to English when you say them in mother tongue. But coming back to your question, I think I was one of those students who was really good in English during my time. But then as you grow older and I was starting to study theater arts, you start looking at the history of performance. And you realize a lot of places where the history of theater started, like Greek, they still speak Greek as their language, official language. Look at the European countries. They are speaking their original language. Germans are speaking German. French are speaking French. people, they're not struggling to speak English, but as Africans, we are not embracing. And I think Tanzanians are way ahead of us in that they embrace Kiswahili. They say that's their national language. As much as right now the East African community is trying to make them do more English. I also like the fact that they're trying to make the East African community do more Kiswahili. But they are the people who are using their language to teach. And I think it really helps in development of IQ and emotional quotient also, because when you are able to engage in class in your mother tongue, even these maths that we are struggling with couldn't have been a problem.
Yeah, I know, you know, and I can't wait for people to just come and watch that film. But
that film is beautiful.
Could you give them the premiere dates also and where they can get the tickets just in case?
So the premiere is on 27th March at KICC. You can get the tickets from buy goods till number 510255 or on Kenya Buzz. But you can also just go to our pages, Otis Janam page, Legacy Arts and Film page, Dr.Zippy Okoth page, or any of our actors in the Coach page. We have got all the info there. So tomorrow, the premiere is going to be there, red carpet, Luo style, you know. We will take you from the entrance, back again, Danilin. And then after that, you'll have it at Anga Cinemas, Diamond, then at My Movies Africa, and very soon we'll have it on many other major platforms.
Good. Yes, I know most of the people watching will catch it in cinemas because it premieres tomorrow, though, right?
Premieres
tomorrow.
So
most of the people who watch it will catch it in cinemas. So I appreciate you coming.
Thank
and also,
you.
I congratulations on that achievement. Even coming when you have a lot of things going on, I appreciate it.
This
but
is a priority.
It is what it is.
This is part of priority.
Yes, it is what it is. But the theme of our show, rebuilding or restoration, you know, it's what we are doing in 2025. I feel like I want to do this forever because you never stop rebuilding. Which areas of your life are you rebuilding?
The areas of my life that I'm rebuilding are, one, my spirituality. The other one is just self-loving myself to an extent that nothing else matters. When I say nothing else matters, it's in a very selfish way. Some people may think so. But putting myself first for the first time is something I'm looking at in a very special way, because it's making me look at what's my purpose. Why am I even here, Lynn? Like, even on this show, it's because I have got something that the world needs to see. And so for me, starting to look at myself without judging myself and starting to think, oh, CP, what were those dreams that I had that I haven't achieved yet? Because I just turned 41, Lynn. And I'm like, it is at that point where you ask yourself, I have lived this 40 years. This is where I am. These are the 40 years. What do I want to be? And I don't want to recreate new, fresh dreams. I'm looking back at the dreams that I created, and I ask, what did I want to do? You know, like having even a performing arts school is still there in the pipeline. I wanted to work for the United Nations. It is still in the pipeline. Yeah, and I want to be the best female director in East Africa, with a focus on female films.
Ava DuVernay?
Yes. And I am very biased on that. It's so bad that when somebody even shares their script with me, I tell them even before I read the script, like, is it a woman-focused story? They always say yes. Then I say, are women heroes in your story? If it's not, I'm not doing it.
Why is that important though?
Because,
why are we paying key attention to are women heroes?
Are women heroes? Because a lot of times women are being cast in films, but they're being cast as the desperate housewife, the side chick who is, you know, like
the home wrecker.
The home wrecker. I want my daughter to see women in a different way and say, I want to be like that woman. I want to be a hero woman like Viola Davis, you know.
Yes, so Regina King is in Charlie right now, and it's beautiful.
So I want, like, even when women suffer, let them not suffer because of poverty. I want women to suffer because of different reasons. There can be emotional, other work-related reasons. But you see, a lot of times, the same way we do the poverty tourism through our films is the same way we do women, I tell it, women suffering stories through our films. And we have to change that narrative because that's no longer the current woman. 50% of women nowadays have got a source of income. Even a mama mboga is no longer suffering the way they used to suffer a long time ago. We have got mama mbogas paying school fees for all their children and making it in life.
Yeah.
So
having matatus
on the side. So we cannot just keep saying, women's stories are washe, because we're giving stories of someone is living in Kibera, or then they are suffering, the husband is beating them. Even if the story is about the husband beating them, I want it to be, it is not because of poverty. Let us have another reason for abuse, because where I come from, the reason for abuse is because the person has chosen abuse as their point of communication. Yes.
No longer about poverty.
It's no longer about poverty. It's no longer about what did you do or what did you not do. It's because the person has chosen to be violent instead of communicating.
And that's a choice.
And that's a choice
they've made.
Yes.
All right. So let me just go to the conversation today.
Yeah.
I had one of the people I've seen you tag a lot in your post the other day,
Yes.
Jacob Aliet, you know.
Yes.
Jacob is shaking things around, you know. But what do you think about Jacob's, thought pattern?
I think Jacob is trying to sell a book. That's all I think. That's it.
Yeah.
For me, and once I took it like that, I'm like, he's just trying to sell a book. Because, what exactly is he saying? Jacob is talking about, women and like these women, we are trying to look for attention. We don't care about marriage anymore. If we find love, fine. If we don't find it, fine. But you see, Jacob is trying to push the narrative of women are nothing without a man. You know, that women after 40, we are desperate for a man. Jacob is not, I don't even think he believes in that. I think he's just trying to sell a book.
But let me see. I'm holding here.
And people appear, of course, men
hold on,
who have not been good at looking for validation through him.
Talking of books, by the guys, you should get this book. The big, let me sell a book here.
Okay.
It's not paid, but I believe we have a beautiful conversation here, and I can't honestly wait for the day I get to host these two gentlemen. The big conservation lie. It's on your screen. Get it. That was it's what I'm currently. It's what Zippy found me reading. But when we are talking about him trying to sell a book, I'm looking at Nuria top 100 overall books. He has all his 3 books
are top.
Yes. Unplugged. So I'm like, if this book is top, it's simply because people are relating to what he's saying.
So it means he's a good marketer.
No, he's not a good marketer because when I was going through the comments on our YouTube channel, the show we did, there are a lot of mixed reactions.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who agree.
This book has changed my life.
And then some people are like, now we are not interested in love anymore, right? So for me, what that says is this conversation is getting into people's head. So maybe he's talking to a set of audience. And as women, we are not ready for that.
No, actually women read a lot of Jacob's books. Women read a lot of Jacob's books because as women, we always like to get into the mind of the man. But I think men are using that book for validation. And you'll find most of the people comment. When somebody does a good comment, I will go back to their profile. I always like, where is this person coming from? So I go to their profile and I check work again. I like a lot of people who, especially the men, I don't even talk about the women because the book is always trashing women. A lot of the men are looking for validation. And you realize the men who say the book has changed their perspective it's like, I used to spend my money on like this, and now I decided to start planning like that. You get it? So it is that thing of, he is advising men on how to be. The only thing is, when it comes to his posts, is because he's using the narrative of trashing women. You get it? Because he can still teach men without trashing women. You get it? Yes. Like even I and my friend, Dr. Makove, we talk about men. We talk about women, but we don't trash men. So I think he can still sell the book without trashing women.
Okay.
Because also, I mean, Jacob is about 40, and I mean, he's married, happily married with children. So he does not need to be trashing women above 25. That's why I'm like, he is trying to sell a book, because he is a brother, he's a cousin to people,
Yes.
he's a father to girls, and so
husband.
yeah. So saying that only women 23 to 25 are the only ones, I'm like, oh please. We started learning about our body and accepting it and enjoying. Is this right? Is
No.
this rated?
Go on and enjoying our sexuality.
And enjoying our sexuality after 30. So when people talk about girls at the age of 23, 25, it's because then they like exploiting naivety. That's why. If somebody can say to you, oh, girls of the age of 23, 25 are the best, it's because that girl at that point is naive about her sexuality, and as a man, you feel good to exploit it. And for me, that's like narcissism.
You feel superior.
Yes.
But you just said something
Yeah.
a lot of women are saying right now. I'm
Yes.
in my 40s.
Yes.
I don't care about marriage. Is
Yes.
that a fact?
It is a very good and sad fact.
Wait, what?
I think something happened to me last year. I was very scared of a lot of things. I was scared of dying old alone. Like how, if I don't have a man, how will my old age be? Who will help me? You know, the kids will grow and go. Then what will happen to me? Then I had a lot of reflection. I mean, therapy and out of therapy. And I realized there's really nothing you can do about what will happen next in life. And I've seen a lot of lonely people in old age. And even as a person, the people become widows and widowers. I mean, my mom passed on, my dad is there.
Condolences.
Yes, thank you. And I have also seen other people, they are all there, but some people are happy, some are not. But then I've also seen the greatest happiness women find in old age is the support of fellow women. That's why you find, even when you go to the countryside or even here in Nairobi, women have got clubs, even just for reading, knitting. Have you seen those knitting clubs? They're all women above 50.
Yes.
Yeah, the knitting club, the reading club. And in Sharks, they have got the chamas, where they meet and talk, the church groups, because women are finding strength in each other. They go home to cook and sleep. And also at that point, you find when they're older, it's menopause. Men don't barely understand their emotional and change of moods and all that. And so they find companionship among their female friends more. So it's not an issue about marriage. If marriage is for companionship, then you can find companionship anywhere. Yes.
Let me read you something also.
Yeah.
So because I feel like you talk about this. Let me just read you one of the comments that has had people talking also.
Yeah.
It's someone explained to me why men want traditional women but do not want to be traditional men.
Yeah.
They want us to be traditional in doing chores and serving them,
Yes.
but still we become modern by paying part of the bills.
Exactly.
If they are told to be 100% providers and care for a woman, they would not. So they want a traditional wife taking on modern responsibilities while they only stay modern in their pegging of bills.
Exactly. And that's why I say some of these men are just looking for validation, because you can't have your cake and eat it. If you want a traditional woman, get a housewife who has just finished Form 4 and be satisfied with it. But then what happens is women really grow. Even a girl who has just finished Form 4, she'll grow and she'll want to serve something else. Her children will grow and then she'll be like, what next? She'll say, open for me a salon. She'll start meeting people, talking to people. So we are past the era of confining people within a space. And men have to really face that. So when a man insists, oh, I don't want, my wife cannot listen to Dr. Zippy. I'm like, yeah, of course I understand why your wife cannot listen to Dr. Zippy, because it will open up her mind to all the possibilities in the world. So I think men just need to understand that things can't be the same. It is either, in fact, right now, at least both of us are working. I think in the next 15 years, men will be house husbands, because it's not an issue of women empowerment. Because they'll say to you, women have been empowered so much, the boy child was left behind. No. Men have been empowered since time immemorial. So when we try to uplift the woman, it is not that the boy child has been left behind. But right now, it is not just the women empowerment. It is the fact that I can see a role model. Like I can see women around me, even without anyone telling me you should be like this. I can see the women around me. Lynn, when we were growing up, how many women did you see even driving a car?
Not many.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Even when a woman bought a car, she would allow the husband to drive it or even hire a driver because it would be hard. I remember when the first times when I used to drive to Homa Bay, my home county from Nairobi, the moment I reached, my mom would be like, "You drove alone. Why didn't you drive with somebody?" Because, it's like, as a woman, that's such a long distance to drive. And even for my mother, after she knew how to drive, it took her so long. She never wanted to drive because of that mentality. But our children are growing up in an era where it is okay for a woman to do anything a man is doing. It's okay for them to drive a car. It's okay even for a woman to see a woman mowing the grass, handling the cameras. So it is not about women empowerment like we are turning forums and telling girls, be like this, be like that. They can see for themselves. Like my daughters, I believe, they're definitely going to turn out well because they see their mother is working hard, running around and doing all that kind of stuff because people learn by seeing. Mm-hmm. I think even for me, my business acumen, I've taken it a lot from my mother. So when we talk about the modern woman, I think the men have to change, have a mind shift and start looking at women differently. Yeah, this issue of, oh, my mother was like that, so you can be. I'm like, oh, please. One, your mother is your father's. Mimi ni chaguo lako, yule ni chaguo ya baba yako. Tafadhali. Period. So two, you cannot compare me to your mother. I am not here as a mother. I am here as your lover, as your girlfriend, as mother to your children, So if there are things you expect me to do because in your background a mother should do that, a wife should do that, talk it to me. Tell me, babe, I really like when you cook. You get what I mean? Don't say, oh, you're always busy, you only cook on Sundays and stuff like that. I mean, it's okay. Fine, then I can just stay at home, then you provide. Then you're like, oh, now now I'm paying everything, we can't have enough money to go out. Then I'm like, so I can't be coming home. You are in the office like me. We have a house help. And then you've heard of men who say they cannot eat food cooked by house help. You're like, seriously, boy? Because that's not a man.
Hey. Mlikuwa mnashangilia yes.
As a man, you should be understanding that this is my partner. Tumetoka pamoja. In fact, let me give a very loving scenario of a man who drives the wife to work. You get what I mean? And then in the evening, picks her from work and they arrive home together. Yeah? Children are here. You say you don't want a house help. All of you left the house at 6 a.m. You're all back at 6:30 or 7 p.m. Maybe there are children. How are chores supposed to be done here? You insist there's a washing machine, but washing machine itaribu nini? Kola ya shati. You've heard men say that. Yeah. So question is, so this woman should wash those shirts. This woman should come home and cook. And when she does meal preps on Sunday because she knows the schedules are tight, you're like, you can only eat fresh food. You don't want food in the fridge. Like, women are struggling out here to be the ideal kind of wives because men can't eat food from the fridge. Their clothes can't be washed using washing machine. They don't want food warmed in the microwave. As in, all this is technology to help make life easier so that you can have more time together cuddling on the chair watching TV.
Yes.
But you want this woman to be laboring, instead of you having a nice time together. Go to the kitchen and help her. Akate nyanya, ukate kitrungu, do things very fast. Help or let her cook. You help the children with homework so that everybody eats very early.
But someone will say men were not designed to do these things.
Designed by who?
They say, but that's what Aliet said. Men are not wired to do something.
Wired by who? Me, that's the question. Wired by who? Because for me, that's a parenting issue. If a man says they were not wired to do that, then I'll go back to their background and say that's a parenting issue because some of us come from backgrounds where even men had to cook, had to clean and all that. So if a man right now says they were not wired to do that, I'd say their survival tactics are very low because, yes, it means, how did they even survive even college?
Yeah.
Because college, they had to wash their clothes. Maybe they had to cook or buy food. How are they doing all that? Because I read somewhere humans, we were created for survival. That's why even when we find success, we still want to struggle to achieve higher because we are always on survival mode.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we find success and we just sit down, kind of like life ends. Life becomes boring. Even the richest man wants a higher challenge. So if as a man you lived your life not doing anything, then the question is, even as a person, some of these things is not about house chores. It's about yourself, out of your own kindness. You're just seeing somebody laboring around you, serving you, and you don't feel a thing like I should help them. For me, it's about that kindness of, do you say, I love you, but I can't help you do
Empathy.
your work. Yeah, you have no empathy.
But someone now, he said this whole independent thing is an African, it's a black woman.
Oh, the African woman has always been independent. It is not a new thing. And that's the narrative I always tell people. That is not the African narrative. The African woman has always been independent. I don't know, but when I look at my lineage, look at the grandmothers who owned the farm. The men could marry, but the women had to decide when people are starting to farm, when people are harvesting, and organize the whole home. I always feel women have always just allowed men to have that throne so that we can have our way. And men will say, the way to a man's, just be humble so that the man can give you what you want. Unfortunately, nowadays, women can get that. So what can you also do as a man? Because women have always been independent. We have always owned the land. Once a man marries you, I am going to own this home. And you make it a beautiful home. And people come and say, wow, look at Zippy's place. But the man, what does he do? He says, this is our ancestral land. We can build anywhere. Yeah. Traditionally, look at the traditional culture. Let's look at the Luo land. The men could come, they could dig holes. Do you know they could put the pillar? Which people were doing mudding the house or thatching the house? Women, right? Yes, the men could come to do the roof, but then the whole thatching, it was the women. But the women could go get the grass, men just come and tie it on the roof. Like, women have always been independent. This narrative, just because we've gone to school, it's a lie. Women have always, even traditionally, when things were going wrong, even the most illiterate woman, you'd find out of nowhere, would take the children to school. How are they doing that?
But then they would ask, why do you label yourself an independent woman? You are independent from what?
It is men who came with that term.
Independent woman.
Independent woman.
We never came with that
We
term.
never came with that. For us, we are just women living our lives. But because a man has to coin a name for women, they cannot have. They say independent women are like that. No, women are very, we depend a lot on advice. That's why we come home and we ask people for advice. But even traditionally, men never give advice even in bazarazas. They come, they say, they meet, they have an issue, they say, well, let's go home and we'll discuss tomorrow. Because they're going home to ask what? First wives.
Oh.
Anytime, traditionally, when a man is from a meeting, that day they will go to the house of the first wife.
And ask for
and
advice.
Ask for advice.
Then show up tomorrow.
And show up tomorrow and say, I think. Not giving the woman credit.
Yeah.
We have always ruled.
Hey.
Yes.
But let me ask, because you speak so openly about your divorce journey.
Yeah.
Guys, she's spoken about it in other platforms you can check, because I don't want to
Repeat
the whole divorce story, right?
Yes.
You've spoken very openly about your divorce. Number one, were there moments you were ashamed of admitting, yes, I'm now a divorced woman? And number two, would this level of independency, is it easy now for people to say, skia venye anaongea, no wonder ako divorced?
Exactly. There was a time I was traumatized even to say I am divorced. But then I realized, Zippy, this is not good for me. Looking at all the options, everyone I went to for consolation, including the church, the answer I got was, move out of that. Marry because it's going to kill you. So when people, later on, it's people will always say, that's why she's like that. It's because nowadays people's opinion don't matter. Yeah, the only person's opinion that matters is my boss. and my children.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, if my children tell me, "Mommy, you're making noise," I'll be like, "Okay, let me keep quiet." Things like that. If my boss tells me, I mean, he's helping me get a salary. So some people's opinion don't matter because, Lynn, it does not matter what you do. Even if I had stayed in that marriage, they would have said she's looking like that because she's married to a man who's like that. You get it? So people will always have a reason to say, they'll say you're looking good because that man is taking care of you. And maybe that man is not even taking care of you.
You are the one
You're the one
loans.
taking care of yourself, taking loans. You will build a home and people will say, oh, it's that man. It is, you are the one taking all these loans. People will always find a reason to justify why women are the way they are or doing the things they do. Rarely will they say it's a man who has caused all those problems, because they say men will change, men are like that. Why is the burden of society always on the woman? That's for me. I'm always like, we are not going to take the blame because, oh, yeah, a woman is the pillar of the home. You married me to come to your home. How am I the pillar? Yet traditionally, when you make a pillar up or when you're starting to build the house, so why am I again the pillar? Why am I the one who's supposed to take all the shit and all the nonsense? When you refuse to be a man and a father and a husband, I am supposed to take it in all, because with time, you will change. With time has made a lot of women die of HIV. With time has made a lot of women be killed by these men in their homes. With time has made these women go insane and have mental health depression. With time has made the children of these families not even believe in love anymore because of all the trauma. So this issue of with time, men will change. The question is how long? How long? Yeah.
That's deep. How long?
Yes.
How long? Where do you think the likeliness between a divorced woman and bitterness comes from?
I think it is a lack of therapy, because bitterness is not even about it being angry at others. I think for a moment there was a time I was angry, very angry at myself. And I asked, why did I allow all this to happen to me? Because I stopped everything in my life. I used to sing.
No way.
Yes, and I stopped singing because a man said, why are you going on stage? So that people are admiring you and all that kind of stuff. Like, I was finalist for spotlights on Kenyan music.
Like, you can sing.
I have an album.
Dr.Zippy, drop something. This is the part you get. Just
no,
yes.
Not today.
Bye, guys. And me, I'll camp here until we hear that.
Yes.
No, just give us something, even if it's a second. Even if it's a millisecond.
Oh, which one? Yeah. Which song? Which
even
one?
A millisecond.
Mama Wendy, ema kuongo wero. Mama Wendy, ema kuongo wero. Nyaseme Wendy, Mama Wendy, ema kuongo wero. Nyaseme Mama Wendy, ema kuongo wero.
Wow.
That was a song for my mom.
Wow.
But I think in 2003, the song that I released first was Nalilia Busu.
Nalilia what?
Busu! And I was like, ninaumwa moyo, nipapase roho, nalilia, busu lako moja tu, nalilia, nalilia, silili busu tena.
Whose busu was that? Wait, what?
Yeah, that one played on the beat, and I did this video on the bathtub with the, roses and stuff, and then there was a part.
Is it online?
I don't think it's online. Then there were kisses going on the screen. That right now, I think the one that's still online is a gospel I did. If you go to my page, you'll find it. Singedhani ungenisamehe, ila kwa neema yako umeniokoa. Singedhani ungenisamehe, ila kwa neema yako umeniokoa. Yeah.
The voice is beautiful, Doctor.
Yeah, and for me, even singing was about breaking boundaries, because Lynn, when I was in primary school and high school, I still have, I have this deep voice.
Yes.
And everybody was like, Zippy has such a deep voice that one, if there was noise in class, my name could not miss. Even when you whisper Zippy, and there were even students and teachers. In fact, there is a teacher who would come to class and say, who's that boy in this class? I mean, I'm at Asumi Girls High School. Everyone is a girl. But the teacher comes and says, who is that boy in this class? You know, that in my mind really shut me down. So that when I got to campus and my lecturer, Otumba Ouko, and the late Professor Okumo, there was a musical that was being done and they insisted I sing. Lynn, I struggled to just stand in the audience and sing. And Professor Okumo said, you are going to sing it, Zippy, so you better practice it because I'm not changing that role to anyone. And I stood in front of the audience and I sang this song because for me, this song that changed my life. This song it's called, what is it called? I'm forgetting the movie. But, you wait, little girl. You're an empty page that men will want to write on. Wow. Let me tell you, Hindocha Hall, that was the hall, was quiet. And I got scared. And I got so scared because I'm like, why are they quiet? You know, when you are a young performer, you believe that when you're doing such things, people should clap and all that. And I finished the song because, I mean, for me, it was exam. I was a theater student. And I went on and I finished the whole song. And when I left that hall that day, people were like, wow, Zippy, that was beautiful. And you know, Otumba, my lecturer, he said, Zippy, the best reaction from an audience is pin drop silence. And you got it. And for me, that changed my life. And from there, I was like, I can sing. This deep, big voice of mine can sing.
Yeah.
So it changed my life a big deal. So for me, when I went into singing, it was that thing of like, who cares? Yes. The two most important teachers in my life say I can sing, then so be it. Yeah.
Then you get someone telling you.
Then I went there was this finalist for Spotlight on Kenyan music at Alliance Francaise.
Yes.
And I said, I was with my friend Chantabelle, God rest her soul. We decided, let's go audition. So first she auditioned, she had a beautiful voice. And then as I'm there talking, Tabu Susa says, Zippy, and have you also come for audition? Then I say, no. And they're like, but there's no one else in the room. Why don't you try audition? Then as a joke, I sing a folk song that my uncle really liked, also the late John Okoth really liked. And I got shortlisted among the top 10 artists for Spotlight on Kenyan Music 2006. Wow. And that is the album. That's where Sauti Sol also got noticed. Yeah, because it was Zippy Okoth, Sauti Sol. There's a lady who was called Benta, Macadam. A lot of Afrofusion artists came from there. And I look back and I say, fuck that man who made me stop singing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Story. True story.
Yeah.
But you are talking about something that I'm beginning to observe. It's like a lot. Let me just use women because they are some of the ones I've hosted. They were told they could not do what sets their soul on fire. Yes. What sets their souls free. Yeah. And now they are walking around asking themselves, what if this person told me I could? Yes. How bright of a star would I be?
And I come from, I can say I come from a singing family. Like my uncle, the late John Jaquot, he composed a lot of Luo Catholic songs that are even still sung up to now, and used to play the guitar. And the family were very tight. Like twice a year, the whole big extended family people meet. And I remember from my childhood, I really used to like sitting at the feet of Uncle John and the things, and I could sing along, and people were like, they called me Jawer. But it didn't mean a thing because during holiday, these are people telling you calling Jawer only during holidays, yet in school everybody like, she has a big voice, she has a big voice. So, that one sticks more into your head. Yeah, and but nowadays I look back and I say, I think this big voice has taken me places.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. Yes, I saw the other time somebody saying, have you heard her voice? That voice is terrifying. That is, it's called what? Masculine. She's very masculine. I'm like, I think I'm at that point where if somebody tells me I'm masculine, I'm like, why not? Maybe I am. Maybe all our girls should be told that it is important to have a masculine trait, because a lot of times this femininity has been used to, to exploit us. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you're being told, be soft, be nice. For what? So that you can be silenced and exploited.
Stepped on.
Yeah, and stepped on. Because when you speak up, you're masculine.
So for someone who is watching you, because now you're on this other side.
Yes.
And they would ask, because from your story, you said you stayed longer than you should have.
Longer than I should have.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
For someone who would like to know, why did you stay? What are some of the fears that goes into wanting to be on the other side, but you find yourself still stuck here? There's a lot of fear of coming out.
Because of the way we grew up, you know, all these voices in your head, like, oh, it's a woman's place to keep the family, men will change, or where are you going to go to, and yet you already have a child, who is going to marry you without a child? And then marriage is the degree that all women should have. You get it? Yeah, so every girl grows up wanting a Cinderella wedding. Every girl grows up wanting to wear that wedding dress and be happily married ever after. And so you hold on to that because you're like, this is my happily ever after. And also, when someone is abusive, they make you feel like no one else can love you. You're not as good as you think you are, you know. So you think you're clever. Also, you think you're beautiful. Let me see what you will do. What will you, you know, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of emotional and physical abuse, and all these things get into your head. So there's the voice from society, but this voice coming from the person you love and trust the most, who is that man who is abusing you. And all these things get into your head, and you get scared. You get scared of everything. You get scared of, one, being lonely, never having somebody else to love you in this world, the society always judging you and being an outcast. And I look back and I realize I come from a lineage of very strong women that I have accepted that maybe that is just us. But these strong women lived with their husbands because they had men who accepted them as they were. So the issue here is that these men do not accept strong women because where they come from, women are not as strong. Let me start with my grandmother from my father's side, you know. First, she could not even get married early because she fought all the men who tried to abduct her. But when her husband died early enough, because my grandfather died when my dad was just 7 years old, she refused to get inherited. And we are talking about 1960.
Wow.
A woman refusing
to be inherited.
In
the 60s.
In the 60s is already something else. You get what I mean? And she left that home. And she went to live with the seminaries all the way from Asembo. She crossed and went back to her home in Karachuonyo and lived not in her home because according to law, you cannot go back to your home. She went and lived in the seminary, Rakwaro Seminary. That, I look back and I'm like, Zippy, it's in our history. I look at my mother's side. This girl, she was the first one to accept to learn the Bible, to learn to read. She read up to class 1, 2, 3. And during that time, she was like, she refused to get married. And she was told, oh, if you refuse to get married, then you have to leave home and all that. And she went and, the way they used to take like some children and just keep them together like a children's home. And she studied there. And she started and to learn grade 1 to 3, we are talking of somebody who studied at school that time around the age of 12, 13, not early as us. So by the time she was like, grade 1 to 3, she was already in marriageable age. But she refused to get married and went to school and learned how to read and learned the Bible. And she was among the first Anglicans ordained women. She was the first ordained woman in Seme.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
As an Anglican, priest, because the Anglicans allow their priests to get married.
Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, she got married to a nice man. My grandfather was in the army. He fought in World War II. So I look at all these powerful women who are fast in their own, and I think I'm no longer scared. Because the reason why we are scared is because of what people will say, what the society will say, and all that. And even looking at my own mother got married at the age of 27, which during that time, that's getting married at the age of 18, because she wanted to pursue her dreams. So for me, I think I healed realizing this is not just about me. This is about a movement in my lineage.
This is a whole movement.
It's a whole movement, and we just need a man. Like, I want a man, but I want a man who understands that Zippy is different. Zippy is strong, and Zippy is opinionated. Not a man who wants to change me, no. I want a man who I will accept him as he is, and he accepts me as I am. But men want to change women to be what they are not. Yeah.
To be what they want them to
be homemakers. I am a homemaker, I mean. So what else do you want? Just to shut me down, that's it. Yes.
Wow. And you won't have that.
I mean, right now, I want a man who does not need more children, because I am not having more children. Let him come with his kids, I come with mine.
Na akisema anataka kamoja tu.
Hakuna kamoja, hiyo kamoja kameniweka kashida. Hako kamoja tu. Lynn kameniweka kashida. So I want a man who first understands himself, because for me that is also the aspect of understanding himself. If you already have children, mbona unataka tu kamoja? It is to cement the marriage. To cement what? Come, we love each other. I will love your children, you will love my children. Let's be happy, because at the end of the day, no matter how many children we have, they will one day move out of home. Yeah.
It's what we have.
It's what we have as
that
the two
counts.
That counts.
You know, but then someone would say, this whole career woman, you know, high value woman, you guys are destroying. You're destroying the African, you know, that whole union, the family union. We are Africans. We've had happy homes. We come from.
It is not women destroying, Lynn Ngugi. It is not women destroying homes. It's men destroying their homes. You know, nowadays they've even changed the narrative. Women cheat more because they want us to feel bad. Men are cheating more still, as usual. Yes, there are women cheating, but men are still cheating more. Two, it is men who are cheating. It is men who are becoming abusive. It is men who are absent dads. I'm not talking about even people who are divorced. I'm talking about in a marriage setup, a happily married couple. How many times do fathers do homeworks with their children? You get what I mean? How many times are fathers there for school events, open days? They are at work, yeah? They are too busy to come home on time because they have to meet friends going drinking, right? There's also this example I give. When young people finish their first degree, count after 5 years, what has happened to them? The girls, most of them have even gone and completed their masters. The men, the lucky ones, have gotten jobs and just bought a car. So women are thinking of progression, while men are thinking of showing off. That's what I want to say, because I mean, they want people to see I am doing well. So a man gets their first job, a car, a good house, you know, hopefully a good babe, you know, see my chick, you know. Yes. And a woman gets a first job, they're like, I need to enroll for my master's. I need to help build for my mother a house, you know. Let me start a side business. Apart from this, nifungue a side business, a side hustle here. So it is not about women destroying the next generation. It is about women are already seeing these possibilities while men are still stuck at where they were. So I think men need to stop putting the burden on women and start looking inward, like, who has changed? Is it women or men? They'll say women have changed because we are empowered. But the man, if people are changing, why aren't you changing? Because we're humans. Things change. I mean, we are Christians. We used to be traditional African religion. Now we are Christians. We are watching movies out there. So it's opening the scope of our minds. If we are saying that watching those romantic movies is polluting the minds of women, men are also watching a lot of violent movies. Is it making them more violent?
No.
Yeah, so let's not stop blaming the movies.
So where is the solution? Will we have any more family units?
We are going to have family units.
Yes.
I look at life like, the way fashion changes. Yeah?
Yes.
Like today, these heels are the ones in fashion. Then 10, 20 years later, again, it's platform. The same thing is happening the whole world over. Right now, people are like, oh, career women, then, oh, I don't want to have more children. People are just doing two children. Then to reach a point where everyone will start just having more children because they start feeling lonely. They're like, I grew up feeling so lonely. I don't want my children to grow up that lonely. So instead of having only 2 children, they'll start having 5 children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of these things will change. Americans, there was a time they were just having 1 child, no children. Nowadays, look at Americans. Americans are having 5, 10 children, because life is just, people just, especially when it comes to lifestyle, it just revolves around the same thing. The things we don't like right now, the next generation will like it. You get it? Right now, a lot of people were very focused on work and they did not have a social life. This next crop of generation, they're always doing outdoor activities, hiking, driving, and all that.
Exercising,
doing a lot of outdoors.
Yes.
And you see, it's going back to the time of our mothers. You get it? So it will still change. So we should not be scared that, we're going to reach that point where there's no population. No, in the next 15 years, people will give birth to more children. Yeah.
I know you are those people. I said, we were speaking about high value. Because right now, you pull up with a very beautiful car, you have a good job, you have a movie premiering, you have everything going on. So what exactly to you, what would you need in a man, or what is a woman supposed to find in a man?
Let me see what I need.
Yes.
Because Lynn, I don't know what other women need. Me? I need a man who can just hold me, cuddle, kiss me, tell me, Zippy, you're beautiful. Have a beautiful day. Take me on holiday. I think I'm a hopeless romantic.
Yes.
I can't help it. I am a hopeless romantic. Buy me flowers. I just want love. I love love. I die for love, and I think that's my weakness. Nikipenda lini ninapenda mbaya.
Kabisa.
Yeah. So, but I think as I grow up, what I do nowadays is I am too self-aware that if somebody just starts showing signs of first week, 2 weeks, I'm done.
What are nye?
You said you'll call me and you don't call. Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like that?
It is that simple. Yes, Lynn, let me tell you, for me, I'm being very intentional.
Yes.
If you love me and you say you will do something, when you decide that something is going to come about and you don't do it, you should call me and tell me, babe, this has happened. I am not able to make it today. Can we meet tomorrow? And all that kind of stuff. Explain, and I'll be like, it's okay. Fine.
Communicate.
But you've told me, I am a planner, Lynn. You tell me tomorrow you're taking me for dinner. Mimi nijivai. I spend my whole morning ninafikiria nitavaa nguo gani. And then inafika 5, no calls. You've not told me where we are meeting. Like, come to this place or that place. You've not even called. Then you go silent. I'm done. Because, Lynn, for me, a man has to be very intentional. And you see, we've been made to believe that, men are on demand, men are few. But I'm like, I don't want men. I just want that one man.
Who is fit for you?
Who is fit for me.
You as a woman, then what are you giving this man?
What I'm giving this man?
Yes.
I'm giving him the same. I will cuddle, we will make love, we will kiss, we'll hold hands. And I mean, if he takes me for dinner 3 times, I'll take him once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey! So why not go 50-50?
Because you see, if he takes me out for dinner 3 times, I will take him once. But you see, when we are home, I will cook more times and he will only cook once or twice a year.
Balance.
You get what I mean? Like, we all can't be equal in a way. Like, you take me for dinner today, I'll take tomorrow. No, we're not splitting bills here.
Okay. Money-wise, would you date someone who signed you and a try in a life? Yeah.
I have.
How was it?
I mean, he got money.
Then he left?
Yeah.
or not again?
I mean, if another one comes, you see, having money is relative. So the question is, does he have just at least money to take care of himself? Because we're not talking about zero.
The one who is chasing a vision.
Yes,
you see,
I want a man who has a vision.
I can chase you right now. Like
Yeah.
I could be chasing you right now as a
Yes,
man, but niko tu na vision. So
Yes,
Zippy,
no, that one for me
I'ma
is
borrow
okay.
you some fare,
Yeah.
some
I
lunch
have
money.
done that.
That's cool with you.
I have done that.
Ah, good.
Yeah, but
Hey.
I don't know if he loves me right. I don't know if it's my end.
So money for a high value woman or a career woman is never an issue. Like,
but you see,
hamfai
there
kukua
is
hapa
something,
nyinyi wote.
we all can't have the same amount of money.
Yes.
You get what I mean? One person has to have more at a particular time. But the thing is, you also don't want, just the same way a man also doesn't want somebody who's like nipe, 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 nipe. Even a woman also doesn't want that 10 times. So at least you want a man with whom you support occasionally. You get it? Like, you know, at the end of the month, he has got some money. But hapa katikati, something happens. You're like, decided how I hike because I'm going to, for that job interview, I'm going to speak to, somebody like that. That's okay. Once in a while, you're like, babe, let's go out. And then you're like, I don't have money. They're like, it's okay, fine, I'll sort it.
Or you give him the money to pay the bills.
There are men who would want that. There are men who don't care. So
Yes.
I think I want a man who doesn't mind that. Yeah, because you see, if we are pretending by sliding in, I mean, it's my treat and I'm not doing it every day. So, and the days when you are doing it, it's also okay, you know. So, and when we are out there, if the message that we are sending is that we are a couple, then it doesn't matter who's paying.
Okay.
Because in a lot of very successful marriages, you'll find it's women who are managing the finances. Yeah, there's always the joint account where the woman is the one who has the what? The ATM. So if that's the kind of setup, then it is not a problem for such a man to allow this woman to pay. Because what if they are married? What if she's the one managing the family account? You know, what if she's just paying from the family account? Why is this man having a problem? Because if a man has such a problem, it means he's still having this social stigma. And kesho atakuja ataniambia, my friend said this. Yeah.
And submission?
We are already submitting by virtue that we are here together, cuddling together.
So big duster, the guy submission.
No, kupiga duster sitapiga. Personally, I like cooking. I cook with a man or without a man.
Yes.
I love cooking.
Yeah.
Even with my children and all that kind of stuff. But I hate washing clothes. So if submission means washing clothes, I will not. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you're a mom of daughters.
I'm a mom of daughters.
When you speak like this, because your daughters are watching you and they are learning what mom is saying.
Yes.
And then there's also
you
another.
You don't have to do something you don't like to please anyone. For me, that's where I come from. It does not matter.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's another community watching and they are like, she's raising daughters with this kind of mentality. Wataolewa na nani. Are you scared your daughters will miss on companionship?
No.
Because men will be scared.
First of all, they're very beautiful.
Yes. Period.
And two, I think I want to hook up my girls. Yeah. Because I want them to understand. I'm maybe I made the mistakes because I was not chosen for. Because I'm looking at some of my friends who have got very nice gentlemen.
You mean the men in Switzerland?
Even those ones in Switzerland.
The ones you are asking
my dad. You saw that? I asked my dad, I hope that day I was working with my dad. By that time, we're doing recce in Rusinga Island. So my dad told me, let me show you some of the places. He's friends with beaches. Then he tells me, he has 2 sons, they're abroad. I'm like, but Papa, why didn't you hook us up? And they're like, but you people don't like being hooked up. I'm like, but you did not ask. You didn't even ask. I told him, maybe I couldn't even be divorced right now. Imagine, because it could be your friend's son and me here, your daughter. I mean, it could have been easier.
Wow.
He just laughed. But then thinking of it, I think being hooked up is a nice thing. Not being, there's the hooked up blindly.
And arranged marriage.
An arranged marriage, no.
Yes.
Being hooked up let me say, you come, bring me to this room and then you excuse yourself from a hotel for 2 hours. Then there's the other gentleman here. And if you disappear for like 4 hours, tutaongea.
Yes.
And we'll exchange numbers.
And possibly
And
cuddle.
possibly. That's the kind of hookup you're talking
Yes.
about. Yeah, and our aunties did it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Come and visit me. Then kidogo, the other boy is also there. Then you are all seated, waiting. Your aunt serves you even tea that day. Paka, you're like, auntie, amenipikia chai mimi. Bila badala ya kuniambia, anakwambia, Dani kuja uchukue hii chai uweke mgeni. Alafu anakwambia, wacha nikimbie kwa soko, ninunue nyanya, msitoke.
Yeah.
Anaambia kijana, nani? Usitoke, umejua utasitaki wacha huyu msichana hapa peke yake mpaka nirudi. And she goes and goes and goes. And that day you realize all the children in that compound, suddenly they were not there. Watoto wote waliambiwa waende wacheze kwa auntie mwingine. So it's just the two of you in this compound.
Yes.
Yes. You talk and you might end up kissing,
Yeah, and something beautiful there.
Yes, and that's why
you actually think we should go back to
I
that?
think we should. You see, that's a very nice, soft connection. Yes. You're connecting people in a nice, calm way.
Yes.
Yes. Not abducting.
Yeah.
You're not forcing them. Yeah, because I also, I say this a lot. If someone is ugly and you look at them a lot of times, you'll start seeing how beautiful they are.
Yes.
But they're just okay.
Yeah.
So ukiacha kwa hiyo room na huyu mtu, utaanza kuona si mbaya
Tu vitu
sana.
twingine tuzuri.
Yeah, then you start talking, they'll tell you their background, nini, and stuff like that. And if you like it, fine. If you like their background, what they are as a person, things like that. So some of these things, it can happen. They should be encouraged.
Yeah.
Assuming you have got like even 3 aunties, and they try hooking you up with 4 different people. Out of these 4 different people, of course, there's one you feel like. This one, when I met him, we talked a lot. I was feeling, I was feeling relaxed. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he asked when he's taking me out, and he came the other day and took me for a stroll, And when we met in the market, he bought me a soda.
Yes.
It's the little things that matter. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. And you are unapologetic when it comes to your success.
No, I am not apologetic at all. Because, Lynn, for me, it's not about pride. It's about testimony. Lynn, for me, it's about testimony. I have to say how successful I am so that somebody can see. This is the Zippy who got divorced 10 years ago and slept on the floor in a house alone and has risen and built herself a home and has a car. It is not about pride. It's about giving somebody else hope. I always say I have to speak about my success so that people can say, look at what God has done. Yeah, because if we don't say what God has done to us, then people will think God doesn't exist. Yeah. I believe God exists, and I believe nimbali nimetoka na mahali nimefika.
Ndiyo maana
natambua kwamba yeye ni Ebeneza. Actually, that song, I listened to it so much until I named my daughter Angela.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but when people see me, I'm not lucky. I have worked hard. I have worked so hard, Lynn. And if when people say, one day somebody says, you are lucky, I said, I am not lucky. I have worked hard and God is in my life. So it's not about being lucky. And also people misuse the word luck. Luck is about being ready for an opportunity when it comes. So if you're not ready, if you're not prepared, then that will not come your way. Let me say, why people will say I'm lucky, and for me, I see it's being ready for an opportunity. Once I finished my first degree, I was working at IPAL. And then I decided that I am going to save my money from my very first salary. I was saving 70% and only using 30%. My salary was 21,000 after tax. Lynn, I used to save 15,000. And that is how I paid for my first semester and second semester of masters at UON. And in the evening, how I used to save, morning napanda matatu, evening I walk all the way back to Methodist where my aunt was living. And when I finished, in fact, the day I presented my master's thesis, as I was walking around along that Jivanji garden, I met my former lecturer in undergrad, the late Professor Wasambo Were. And he asked me, hey, Zippy, where are you going? I'm like, no, I've just come from defending my thesis and I'm just going to take a matatu and going home. Well, and he said, no, let's have a drink here. There's a chicken in that corner somewhere there.
Yes.
And we sat there and Wasambo bought for me chicken and chips and soda and we chat. And as they're chatting, he tells me, they're starting a new department at Kenyatta University and they're looking for lecturers. And everybody I'm talking to, they've not done their masters. He was like, but you've said you've just done your...
Defended your thesis.
I said, yeah, I've just defended my thesis. That was around July, August. And we are graduating in December. He says, do this. Before you go home, go back to the university. Tell them to write for you a letter of completion, like you've completed and you're awaiting graduation. Then next week, Monday, come and introduce you to the what?
Wow.
To the HOD. And I taught as a part-timer for 1 full year. So in 2009 is when I was employed as a full-time. So it's about readiness. It's about being prepared. So somebody can say, I was lucky, but how many of my classmates did not go and do masters? It's about preparedness. Are you prepared? Yes. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. How do you deal with criticism?
How do I deal with criticism? I have been criticized ever since I was a kid. 1, for having a big voice. 2, for being short and fat. There's always criticism in my life. I think I reached a point of, it was like the normal kind of talk in my life. So I stopped listening to it. I took it as noise. Yeah. So that when somebody criticizes me, I'm like, maybe you're the one with the problem. I'm okay with the way I am. Because Lynn, ever since I was a kid, I was a big girl. Yeah. I had nicknames of being short, or being big, having a big voice and all that kind of stuff. So even when I had my successes, like being the best in English, in the region, in the what, that was not something. Being the best in drama, people were still using all these other bullying things to put me down. So it took a moment to start reflecting on my life, to stop listening to all this noise. Because you meet people and they tell you, but I always believed you would make it. You've always been very enduring. You get what I mean? You've always been very ambitious and you always speak your mind even as a kid. And I used to speak my mind even as a kid. Like I could ask even visitors questions. And so I think I just stopped listening to the noise. And my dad is a lawyer. My mom is also that very opinionated woman who will say anything. She was the most philanthropic woman, opinionated. I think she helped a lot of children, girls in that town, paying fees, helping strangers and all that. Our home was so open. In fact, we had so many open hours. So I think borrowing from her strength and all these women in my lineage, and my father was also very open and warm-hearted and very generous in his own way. And my mother once told me, that time, she came and told me that, Danny, I come from a very small town. Somebody had seen me with some boy. And she said, Danny, so-and-so has seen you with some boy. And they are saying that boy has HIV. Have you slept with that boy? Are you going to get HIV? My daughter don't know. I looked at my mother saying, Mama, I am a virgin. I have never slept with any man. And my mother, she kept quiet. And she did not say you're lying. She kept quiet. And for a while, we looked at each other. I think I was around Form 2 there. And she said, as long as you're a beautiful woman, people will always have something to say about you. And that has stuck with me for a long time. Lynn, people will always say something about you. I got my PhD very early because, once I got my job at Kenyatta University in 2009, it came with a PhD scholarship. And on my graduation day, my photo really trended. And like, she's so young. And one day, I met a man who, in the presence of people I know, blatantly said that, like, the way you're young, are you sure you did not sleep with your supervisors? And I looked at him, I said, maybe, but my supervisor is a woman and she's an Anglican reverend, and I don't know if that counts as something. Wow. Yeah. So people will always judge you. Yeah. Your success and all that, but you have to reach that point of defending yourself. I am against this opinion. I was even telling somebody this today. I'm against this opinion where, like, somebody criticizes you right into your face, and then you keep quiet and then you say, let them think what they want to think. If somebody challenges you right in front of your face, Lynn, it's important to set things straight and say, hey, wait. if you ever talk badly about me like that, I'm not going to tolerate it. I am not what you think. And I am like this, and I'm like this. And I'm telling you this because I don't care whether to prove a point or not, but because you are saying it disrespectfully right in front of me. If somebody says it on social media, I'm like, I mean, it's social media.
Yeah.
That one, I let it go. But people I know face to face saying it in my presence, I stop everything and I tell them, you have to make things straight. Because when I never have the energy to hold a grudge. Lynn, I'm not going to leave this place and say to you, oh, you know, nani anaongelelea hivi nini. No. I don't have that energy. I want to leave this place and say, alisema hivi, hata mimi nilimwambia tu hivi, so akipenda believe or not, but I have told them.
Nilisema.
Exactly. And that is also one of the reasons why I decided, let me tell my story and even turn it into a book. Because let people stop gossiping. So that when anyone gossips, it's come from me. You get it? Yeah, but also it takes some maturity. Yes, I'm divorced, but you know, when you Google, you can never find the name of my ex-husband. Yeah, because yes, those who know him in person know him. But those who don't know him, they cannot say, oh, he was called so and so and so and so. By the way, I Googled it myself, like, Zippy's husband. Zippy's boyfriend. Nothing. I said, oh, Zippy, this is impressive. After all the stories you've said, at least, as in the things that come as like, oh, it's called Ricky, Nini, what? But those are pseudonyms that I gave for my story. Yeah, so I think telling people the story while protecting the identity of the other person is important. Yeah. But being criticized, Lynn, you are going to be criticized, first of all, as Lynn Ngugi.
I have.
Yes.
It's working out fine.
Oh, we like it.
Yeah.
I am criticized for a lot of things, and I have been criticized, and I'm like, it's okay, because it does not matter what you do. People will always find a reason
to say
it. Some to put you down, some to lift you up. Yes.
You know, I can't wait to see the wins of all the women who are told they could never be
Oh,
something.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Seeing this kind of, seeing this side of women embracing their voice.
Yes. You'll never get married again.
Hey.
I was told that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, after that, I was in a 7-year relationship. I mean, it lasted longer than
the
my marriage.
Yes. And who knows?
And right now they said, oh, it's happened a second time. You are the problem. I'm like, yes, it's true. I'm the problem because I love too easily and I keep picking the wrong man. Yeah, so I agree. I keep picking the wrong people. Yeah, on that aspect.
But you know, again, as they say, when you know better, you do better.
But I am going to love again, and I'm going to be loved again.
You know, you know, sometimes I laugh.
Yeah.
There's this thing with criticism. Someone will say, because you've been in 2 marriages, you will not find love.
And you'll not find a single person.
And you'll not find a single person, you know. But people don't realize with learning, with making mistakes also, comes a lot of learning. The way I'm hosting these shows is not how I hosted these shows 5 years ago.
Yes, true.
But someone still thinks attacking me for things I did 5 years ago is a flex.
Yes.
I'm growing, you're not.
Yes.
Because if you're growing, you'll be able to
see where you are now.
Exactly.
Yes.
And sometimes I feel like a lot of people allow themselves to be put down because of the things that they've done, the mistakes. We are all going to mess up. Oh my God.
Yes.
We are all one way or another.
And Lynn, even when they say, oh, you are at this age of your life, especially after divorce, and you have 2 children, you can only get maybe a married man. Lynn, I say, I don't date married men. It's a principle. It's a choice I made. Because I believe if I am divorced, and they're all these divorced, and widowed men,
there's a man there
for you. There's a man there for me. When women divorce, wanaacha nani? Si wanaacha wanaume. Kwani hao wanaume?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it to say that those men are always going now for the 23 to 25-year-olds? I mean, a lot of men have confessed to it.
Yes.
Like a 40-year-old man or 50-year-old man getting married to 23 to 25-year-old. A lot of men have confessed to how it destroyed their lives. Because different goals, different visions, and all that. So, I mean, we are going to find those men who have healed, who are ready to love, And who will look at Zippy and say, wow, I have never seen a woman like you in this whole world.
I've never
Out
seen
of
a
50
happy
years
soul.
of his life.
Oh my God. I've never seen
And I
such
will
a
believe him.
beautiful, and you will believe it. Because he's done the
Because the
work.
way he will say it, I will be like,
That's it.
that's it.
That's what I've been waiting
Yes.
for. And
Yeah.
you are open to dating now.
Oh, hata leo mtu akipiga tu simu.
Kuna namba ama waandike email.
Kuna number.
Utawapea. Utawapea.
I mean,
Hawa LNN wachezangi.
Ukienda Facebook, Zippy Okoth ama Dr.Zippy Okoth.
Kuna namba hapo.
Niandikie tu kwa messenger.
Eh.
From the way you talk, first paragraph, second paragraph,
You
nitajua
know.
kama nitakupatia
Kama
namba.
ni yeye.
Yes, but I mean, so these things are like, I'm 41, I'm open to dating men 35 and above.
Yes.
And I mean, have something.
Kipesa, you mean?
Yeah, you don't have to be rich, but have something, because I'm not going to pay for our bills on our first few dates.
Kula.
Yeah,
you know, there's that thing you said, like,
yeah, kula fare.
You said it's so easy to date career women because they don't kula fare.
Yes, but because I mean, I will come, but you need to pay for the bill. We are not splitting bills on our first few dates. Yeah, and all that. But and it's because of what Jacob wants. Because a man wants to feel like a man, so why should I split the bill?
So Jacob leave a bill.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes. Because here you want us to be submissive and all that, but you do not want to be the provider.
How?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you want a submissive woman, be a provider all round.
Yes.
But if you want to be the kind of man who has an open space for you and your spouse, then it will be open.
Yeah. Good, beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't want to wind up. You know, I've just noticed me and you can laugh the whole time. Tunaweza ongea, you know. Yes. But two things. I know we spoke about the movie, your book. Yes. Oops, Zippy.
Oops, Zippy.
Yes.
The Diary of a Divorced Woman.
Yeah. Yes. Where can people find that?
You can find it at Nuria Online Books too.
My favorite.
Yes.
My favorite
You can
zone.
find it there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm happy you are open about your experience.
Yeah.
For me, the joy is seeing this smile, no matter there's so many things, you know.
Yeah, I am very excited about where I am, Lynn, because I look at myself and I'm like, in the next 10 years, I want to be a professor. In the next 10 years, I'll be having 5 more feature films to my name. In the next 10 years, I believe right nowadays I no longer want to work for the UN. I just want to be a consultant for the UN because I think different. Yeah, I still want just to consult with them so that I can have my freedom as a person. Yeah, in the next 10 years, I mean, my children will be grown, so I'll be traveling the world.
Yes.
Yeah, I look at myself and I'm like, I think God has a bigger purpose for me than I am, because also. Looking at where I have come and all the challenges and all the trauma I have faced, and I am still here talking with Lynn.
Still standing.
Then it means there's a bigger purpose than I can even see. Yeah. Period. So I am looking for people who can hold my hand through this journey, because Lynn, tuko pamoja, we are going to go far. We are together. You said you are going to be bigger than Oprah. Lynn, you will be.
But there, I wait for my book. Yes. One day hata mimi hapa Nuria mtaniona. Like, just wait for my book. But you know, you get a lot of support. I know, of course, there is the criticism that everyone gets, but one of the things I keep noticing is how much support you also receive, you know,
because
from people.
Because I also really help a lot of people. I think being a teacher, you will always have people coming back to you, like alumni we've taught 5 or 10 years ago, because I've taught for how many years? 15 years. And they're like, oh, Mwalimu helped me like this. And these are people who are even established. And so if you're always helping them, they'll always be also helping you. Yes. And so even a lot of my projects, I have worked with my former students, because there's also this narrative in our industry that people who have gone to school to study it are not as good as people who learned Comta. And I am here to change that narrative, because even when I did my very first feature film, Midlife Crisis, I can say 80% were my former students, because I wanted them to see these are trained people and this is what they can do. And even the film that I'm doing right now, a lot of them are people who have been trained in, not just my students, but at least they've gone for training, whether it is media, acting, performing arts, film.
Yes.
Because I want people to change this narrative. People are learning. People are not just learning on YouTube. We have even programs, like right now there's a film FUPI program that we are doing in Eastlands, where we are training these students for one fully a certificate course on film. At least that is training, not it's not trying these propagandas. I want people to know training is just a faster way of learning. And we are going to go far, and we are going to collaborate with people, and we're going to create big films and big mini stories through collaborations and partnership. Even the film that I just did with his journal, even when we were applying, we put our teams together and we applied for it for the Kenya Film Commission Empowerment Fund, and we got it.
Good.
And they gave us 70% of the grant.
Yes, beautiful.
And the other 30% we had to talk to friends here and there, and people came through. People came through, and we have created a beautiful film. Notice Janam is a beautiful film.
Go you.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yes.
It's a win.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful one.
Yes.
And I'm happy you are teaching us not to shrink in our achievements.
No.
There's no joy in you dimming your own candle so that other people don't get intimidated by how bright you shine.
Yes.
There's no.
She was called Nderitu and the poet.
Yes.
Beat your own drum. You remember that poem when we were kids?
Beat
Yeah,
your
because when we are growing up, we were told, don't beat your own drum. Let other people say it for you. No, beat your own drum. Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And I know the film is going to be a success. And I can't wait for you to just, it's a beautiful feeling to see someone who was told they can't do something, do it and do it to their fullest potential.
I mean, Zippy has sung.
Yes.
Zippy has loved again. Zippy has had children. Lena even had problem conceiving, by the way. And I had to go for surgery for ovarian cyst. And I had children, like I was told things like, well, maybe ulitoa mimba ndio maana huwezi zaa, like, but I mean, for me, I think my life has always been up and down, and I'm always like, it's hopeful. Okay, hopeful.
Yes.
I think hope has really kept me alive. So some of these things break those boundaries. Even the film which is Janam is about women breaking boundaries, because in the Luo traditional culture, women are not allowed to boat race. But in this film, this woman decides, I am going to be a boat racer so that I can get capital for my business. Beautiful. And the difference I am giving here is that the woman was not just racing so that she can be better than her husband. No. It's to get capital for her business. Like, what is the purpose? Why are you in this race? And women breaking boundaries, because traditionally,
why are you in this race?
Yeah. It is not to compete. No. It is so that I achieve my dream, you achieve yours. Yeah. Because, I mean, I always give a simple example. Even if there's one beautiful salon in an estate, even if 3 more come, Lynn, everyone here will have customers. It does not mean that, now all the customers for this one have gone there. They will all get customers. Yes. They'll all make business. Yes. So we should not be scared of trying to be like somebody else, because those are role models. You know, we will have more younger people starting to have talk shows. We'll have more younger people starting to become filmmakers because they saw you and I. And we should not be scared. For me, even as a teacher, I always say, if my students don't become better than me, then I didn't do a good job.
You didn't.
Yeah. They have to be better than me, because 10 years later, I may have changed even career or retired. Then who will be there? They'll say that was Zippy's student.
Who will
Look at how. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Why are you in this race?
Why am I in this race? Yeah. It's not to compete other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a powerful closer. Why are you in this race?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to wind up, but before I let you go, is there anything we left that you would want to address? And also, you've spoken about where someone can find the book, the movies.
And the movie has English subtitles.
It has English subtitles, which is amazing. Yes. And also maybe remind people where they can find you on your social handles. So first things, is there anything we've left that you feel like you wanted to address?
What did I want to address? Young girl, live your dream. Young girl out there, live your dream. You are limitless. You're beautiful. and you have a purpose. Anytime somebody tells you you can't, you don't have to tell them that you can. Just prove it. If you are feeling very down, I can assure you there's always somebody in your circle who can listen. And happiness is a choice. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. Every day, today unaweza kuwa umelala njaa, you may have been beaten by somebody, but wake up, and if you choose happiness, it will give you clarity of mind. I made happiness my choice the day I said enough is enough. Yeah. So if happiness is a choice, it means you may not have the control of your life as it is now. You may feel you don't have any control of it, but any little thing that you can do to keep alive, to keep going on, do it. And right now, I think this is something, don't kill yourself because of depression. Don't kill yourself because of depression, because a lot of people are giving up too fast. Stop giving up too fast. Yeah, to stop giving up too fast. Every fruit has to be covered in soil as a seed for it to sprout. So maybe that is just the dirt covering you up. But no matter how bad things are, there are options beyond suicide. You can walk out, you can run away, you can go to a home, we have usikimie. You can even, I always say, you can even house hope to your friends. There is no embarrassment in leo umelala kwa Lynn, kesho kalala kwa Zippy, hii wiki. They will talk, but you're alive. You're alive. And as long as you're alive, you can be a testimony like Zippy is. So don't give hope. Don't give up hope. Suicide is never an option. Suicide leaves the people behind very wounded. And it does not give you a beautiful memory. Let people think of you well, because Lynn, people have taken suicide a lot of times as a route, and we cannot blame the people who have died out of suicide, because there's a lot of mental health reasons. But I always believe there's always another option. Yes, there was the option of just going and starting to walk from Nairobi to Nakuru.
True.
Utembee tu.
True.
There was the option of ulie. There was the option of uvunje glasi zote kwa nyumba. Scream, you know. There was the option of, like, there are a lot of things you can do, but he who gave you life is the only one who has the power to take it away. So please don't
give up on hope.
Yeah, because I look at, if you kill yourself, you've left your children. What memory do they have of you that our father killed themselves, our mother killed themselves, or our sister killed themselves?
Were we not enough
Were we
to
not
live
enough?
for?
Yeah, were we not enough to live for? But also, what didn't we see? We didn't hear their cry. You know, when people kill themselves, it's not even about whether were we not enough. It's about,
what did we miss?
Yeah, what did we miss? What didn't we see? Just say it. Say it. Don't assume people know it. Kwani hawaoni mimi nimechange. No, hawaoni. Because saizi tuko social media, tuko kazi, tuko kila pali, hatuoni. Tuambie. Say it. Say, guys, I am depressed. I can't sleep. I can't eat. Say it. And say it again and again. Yeah, somebody out of 10 people, when you keep saying, will hear it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, because we are scared of so many things already, but don't take your life. Yeah.
Such a powerful parting shot, especially to someone who is considering that route.
Yeah.
This might have been just the saving grace they needed.
Yes.
Let them scream, let them shout, let them cry. Say it, say it, you know,
Yes.
breaks my heart.
Yeah,
The
because
number of
I
people
look
we are
at the
losing.
number of times, Lynn, I almost died. But I am here, Lynn. Yeah, because every time I looked at my children and said, so if I die, what will happen? Then you go for therapy. If you can't afford therapy, there's Mental 360. They give free therapy, usikimie.
Yes.
And sometimes reach out on inboxes. We can always refer you to someone. Even these therapists who charge, they also do pro bono sometimes, because they will not let you hurt. And reach out to any of your teachers. Teachers are good counselors. Yeah, at least of all the teachers who taught you, primary, high school, kuna
ule
moja.
favorite.
Yes.
Kuna ule favorite.
Yes. Who can listen to you? They might not even tell you them. They may just, sometimes people just need a hug, Lynn. Sometimes people just need a hug.
And an affirmation.
And affirmation.
You're good.
You're
You're doing great.
Yes.
We are proud of you.
That is it. I didn't expect this.
I hope you had an amazing one.
I think it felt therapeutical.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
My game is, my show, I'm done. I think I've done good. To me, that's that's what I always look for in a guest. When they say it felt therapeutic,
it
makes me happy.
It feels nice. You know, some of the things I haven't talked about in a long time are giving me that reflection. And I'm like, yeah, this is why we're here.
But you see, you're still here.
I'm still here.
You're still hopeful.
Yes.
You're still smiling.
Yes.
You're still thriving.
Yeah.
Regardless of other things.
Yeah. And I cry a lot for the man who wants to date me. I cry a lot.
Better they know.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing
wrong with that. You know, you smile a lot.
Yeah, I smile a lot. I cry a lot.
Which is okay.
And I speak my mind.
And you speak your mind. And you've really blessed us. And I hope people who are watching, for me, I just have one take home. You've made me ask myself a question I have not asked in a minute.
Yes.
Why am I in this race?
Why are you in this race? Yeah. Why are you in this race?
Why am I in this race?
Yeah.
You know?
It's not about other people, Lynn. It's because you had this dream.
This one I've had it and no one will take it away
exactly.
from me. Just God and God and God alone. And that I say in bold. Just God and God and God and God alone.
And what's yours is yours. Me, I always say, you know, sometimes you go for these interviews and somebody usikie mtu mwingine amepata like, hii ilikuwa ya pengine Mungu ameona mimi naweza survive na hii for a while.
Yes.
That is theirs.
Yes.
Yeah, be happy for them.
Be happy for other people,
fine.
you know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be happy. Me, I'm happy for you as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you as a woman who has honestly made me ask myself a question I haven't in a minute.
Yes.
I'm happy that not only do you talk about your achievements, but you talk of your, you know, low moments. Every person is supposed to be happy, and you cannot let people dictate your level of happiness. You cannot let people dictate your level of happiness. Happiness, joy, peace comes from one person, and that's God. So I don't know why I should apologize for being happy. Exactly. Ukinikasirisha sintakasirika. You get what I'm saying? Ukinikasirisha nitakasirika. But I'm happy. Sometimes people see the success of a show. They don't see the struggles of this show.
The effort you
they
put
don't.
behind
No,
it.
they don't. You know?
So you are not lucky. You work hard.
I'm working hard. So you are judging me based on what I've allowed you to see. There is 99% of the things about me you have no idea about, you know. So I am also happy for you and for your film and for your success and paving way for people to know that you can do it young, you can do it unapologetically, you can love again, you can date again, but most importantly, find yourself.
Find yourself.
Find yourself.
Let people make therapy a normal thing.
Yes.
Yeah, let people make therapy a normal thing.
Yeah.
It's not, at least once a year, even if you're okay, just your therapist.
Just your
so
therapist.
that we deal with those past traumas. Tusingoje ikue at a very you should not wait until you're at a very sad moment
ndio ufanye
therapy, because that time you'll be dealing with too much.
Normalize it.
Yes. Ongelesha watu.
Na ukam kwa show tena.
Yes.
I'm thinking of a panel. Maybe I could put you and Jacob together.
Yes, that will be exciting. But Jacob is a very good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a brother. You wachaneni na Jacob. Wachaneni na Jacob. Nyinyi wachaneni. He's good vibes though.
I like Jacob.
He was good vibes to talk to.
Yes.
The thing I love about these conversations, they are that. They are conversations.
Yes.
Your views might not be my views, but creating room for a conversation.
Yes.
I want to understand why you think like that. Why do I oppose how you think?
Yes.
Where can we meet each other? People need to normalize having these tough conversations.
Exactly.
Because they are coming from somewhere, you know. So allow me to wind up.
Thank you.
All the best.
Asante.
Ambia watu wangu bye.
Bye. Happiness is a choice.
Yes. Happiness is a choice. Sasa aibu ndogo ndogo
Happiness
ni
is
za
a choice,
nini?
haijalishi.
Happiness is a choice. It's okay. Happiness is a choice. Why are you in this race? That's my take home. Leave me yours on the comment section. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye.